sit back and enjoy the action. It's Dundee against Ross County with Callum Davison, Michael Stewart and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Kenny. Teams out at Dens Park on this rearranged match as these players get attuned again to the prospect of playing a competitive football match. It has been a while, 30th of September, since either of them featured in a serious match. So getting back to business here and looking to climb the league, and every prospect of that when you look at the packed midsection of the Premiership table. There are only 4 points between 4th and 11th, so no great surprise that if one of these two wins it tonight, they will take a mighty leap up those Premiership placings. In case you've just joined us, 2 changes for Dundee from their last lineup, which was a goalless draw at Easter Road. Jordan McGee incoming. Finlay Robertson, the 20-year-old midfielder, he starts as well. Cammy Kerr is on the bench, and there's no Lyle Cameron, who featured last time out for Dundee, but he's not in the squad this time around. Ross County, 3 changes, including the return of top scorer Simon Murray. His 9 goals helped considerably by 7 in the League Cup. Dylan Smith, the Scotland under-19 defender, he's back into the team as well, and Victor Laturi starts. Kyle Turner is on the bench. Alex Samuel is there as well, and Will Nightingale, who started last time out for County in their home defeat at the hands of Hearts, he is missing for this one. That explains the return of the youngster, the 17-year-old Dylan Smith, in the County back 3. Colin Stephen is the referee here at Dens Park, and we are just about all set to go. Underway on Tayside, Ross County in all white and Dundee in all dark blue. As Smith plays the ball forward, Danda had a stab at it, and he will hopefully, for Ross County, get the sort of freedom that allows him to be at his creative best tonight. And at his best, he is a big player for the Dingwall team. Malky Mackay and Tony Docherty patrolling their technical areas already. A couple of Premiership wins this season for Ross County, and a draw. 7 points from 7 games is the total for both these teams. County have beaten St Johnstone and Kilmarnock so far. Just the 1 league win for Dundee so far. That was against Hearts, and 4 draws. Pretty solid start. And certainly if 3 points can be added tonight, then it becomes a lot more than a solid start to the campaign. So there is plenty at stake here as the ball is scrambled behind by Jordan McGee for the first corner kick of the match, and it comes Ross County's way. Corner kick on the left-hand side, and they've got plenty to throw at it, the Dingwall team, in terms of height and physique. So in comes the first corner kick of the match, whipped in at the near post. It was some delivery, and it was just punched away by Trevor Carson as that swung in menacingly towards his near post.
Yeah, there was a lot of bodies in. It looks like a little tactic. They've tried to actually flood the 6-yard box and put the goalie under pressure, but he dealt with it very well.
And the ball's gone out on the far side for a throw-in for Dundee midway inside their own half. The first scare, if you like, in front of goal, coming in favour of the Dingwall team, who have Jordan White and Simon Murray in attack. Danda looking to pull the strings in behind, and it's Randall and Laturi patrolling the central midfield area, looking to get some control of the game as Dundee look to mount their first attack of the game. The ball out far side again, and forward comes Joe Shaughnessy for this long throw for Dundee from the right side. Well, certainly initially shaping to be a long throw, undecided. It is bowled in eventually. County handle the long throw pretty well. Still alive though for Dundee, and the ball's clipped in from the left-hand side and hammered away in the end by Ben Purrington for Ross County. Doesn't stick up top for White, and it comes again for Dundee as Ross County get a test defensively, and finally it's launched forward by James Brown. A back three for County at the moment, looking a bit like a back five as they look to repel early threats from Dundee. The ball played forward for Zach Rodden, who collects it, does well, and rolls a pass out wide. In it comes towards Rodden again. He was looking to get on the end of that. It's good defending from the youngster Dylan Smith, using his power to make sure that the ball ran through to Ross Laidlaw. The County keeper, all in red, launches it down the middle. Jordan White climbing for the header as he does to help it on. Back it goes to Trevor Carson. He fires it forward, looking for Bakayoko. The ball returned forward, and Simon Murray in pursuit. But it was good defending by Ricky Lamy, escorting the ball back to his goalkeeper. That time on loan from Motherwell. Lamy, very experienced this season, slotting into the Dundee back line.
Yeah, well, Trevor Carson just took a little bit longer than I'm sure Ricky Lamy was wanting him to. I was surprised that he wasn't out quicker. Fortunately for Trevor Carson, Ricky Lamy was strong enough to hold off Simon Murray.
On the left-hand side, Owen Beck for Dundee cuts inside. He's on loan from Liverpool.
He's done
the
well.
Youngster.
He's done well. The games I've seen so far this season, Owen Beck settling in it. Left wing back for Dundee. He's a threat going forward. He looks to constantly link up with the front men, and he delivers a good ball as well.
In comes a cross ball from the right side for Dundee.
Really interesting. Both teams have kind of matched each other up. Ross County have also got the two defensive midfielders in there, where Dundee have got the two attacking, and obviously they've got Dandy behind, who's getting marked by Boateng. So it'll be interesting to see what team can get control of the game, because obviously there's the only space is really the centre halves.
Joe Shaughnessy, the captain, with the long throw from the right side for Dundee. When it comes down, it's controlled well by Rodden. Tries the shot, blocked. Dundee try again. It's another good block by that white line of Ross County defenders. Get it clear. Good pressure from Dundee, and Rodden has been prominent early on for the home team.
Yeah, just a little failure there, Ross County, to clear the ball from long throw. It's really important to get one guy to go and attack it. The ball's sort of fallen, and Rodden looks lively in the box. That's the type of striker he is. He likes those little half chances. And out of obviously the four strikers on the pitch just now, he looks the most likely to get a goal.
The ball clipped out wide by Trevor Carson, but bouncing away from Lamy and out of play. Not the distribution he was looking for, the former Motherwell and St Mirren keeper. So it's a throw in for County, and the ball is played forward by Smith. Simon Murray looking to get on the end of it. It's cleared, but County have it back with Randall, angling a ball wide for James Brown, who whips it into the box. Dundee get it clear, McCowan rolls it back, and then it's launched forward by Beck towards Rudden. Zach Rodden gets it on the deck finally, and now McCowan looks to switch it across, and it's watched carefully. And Ross County get the ball out of play on the far side. It was Purrington sliding in to get it away, conscious of Dundee threatening in behind. Across the back line for Dundee to Lamy on the left, and the minute he struck the pass forward, there was always too much on it, away from McCowan, and slipping behind for the goal kick. Dundee 0, Ross County 0.
It was a poor ball from Lamy. He was under no real pressure to to get rid of it early. He really just had to wait until McCowan had made the run and got himself into the position before he had to make that pass. And even then, with McCowan making the run, he may well have opened up a wee passing channel into one of the strikers.
I think the left-hand side for Dundee is going to be where they're going to get out. I think with Lammy, obviously Beck, and they've got McCowan in that little side as well. It looks like an area so far in the first probably 5-10 minutes that they're getting out. Lammy looks like he's going to be the centre half and be able to step in, and that quality of pass has to be better, and I think that's what will frustrate obviously the manager at the moment.
A cagey start to the game from both these teams, and if they are a little bit rusty, you can understand why after 3.5 weeks of inaction, international break.
It's actually it's very hard to actually get up to speed straight away. You know, you can train as much as you want, you can work as hard, you can play bounce games, but nothing really compares to sort of match games, proper games. And you know, they do look a little bit rusty. It looks a little bit like stop-start, but again, hopefully the game will start to flow as we get into it.
Yeah, I don't think there's meant to be an autumn break in the schedule, but there has been. The international matches, of course, and a couple of postponements each for these two. Goalless for Dundee and Ross County. Bakayoko dropping deep to pick up the ball, and he slips it to McCowan, who's got Victor Loturi for company in the midfield, snapping at his heels, and the free kick is given against him by Colin Stephen.
I don't mind that from either of them. You know, Loturi's just trying to put pressure on McCowan. Looked at it for a split second as if he was going to win it, but then, you know, Callum and I were both talking about McCowan earlier on, and that's one of his strengths, is his actual strength. He's got great ability to be able to hold people off there, and you know, it looked as if Loturi had got the better of him, but he was able to dig in and hold the player off, and he's eventually won the free kick for his side here.
It's going to be Finlay Robertson who clips in the free kick. It was a useful delivery. It's come off a Ross County head. Is it going behind? Yes, it is, for Dundee's first corner. So on the right hand side, and it will be the on loan Liverpool youngster Owen Beck trotting across to take this. He's got a pretty decent looking left foot. 3 for Dundee around the penalty spot, 3 round about the 6-yard box. It's taken short, and Beck now on the byline and firing it across. County managed to get it clear. It was nicely worked up for Dundee from the corner kick. Boateng plays one in after the ball had been cleared, but it was always too close to Ross Laidlaw, who plucked it out of the air. Good work from McCowan, stopping the clearance from the County keeper. But it is the Dingwall team still in possession. Brown down the line for Murray. Back it goes again. Danda's cross. Not enough elevation on it to get beyond Boateng, but it's Randall who has it back for the Dingwall team. Danda right hand side, slips a pass infield towards Smith, and back it goes to Baldwin. Baldwin shimmies away from Rudden and drives forward with the ball. Squares it to Loturi, and back with Baldwin on halfway. Square to Smith. Forward again for Danda to Murray, who looks to help it on to Brown, but it comes off Beck and it goes behind, and Ross County are going to have themselves another corner kick.
It's a better pass to play from Ross County there. I think they kept the ball. I think Dandy moved, he drifted. Again, very difficult when he starts to drift wide. What does Boateng do? Creates little overloads, and it allowed Ross County to build a little bit of play, you know, and force a corner from Dundee.
County have one corner on the left, this one on the right. In comes the outswinger from Danda. Lots of action on the ball, cleared as far as Loturi, just outside the penalty box on his left-hand side. Never looked set for the shot, and it flashes well wide.
It was a good enough connection. He just, as you said, he wasn't able to get himself set properly and get his foot wrapped around it to get it on target, but it was a good enough strike, but you could tell as soon as he'd hit it, it was going to be drifting well wide.
Goal kick Dundee. Carson thought about taking it short, instead launched it down the right side, and out it goes for the Dundee throw.
When John Nels was talking about some of the things they'll be taking from Dens Park to the new stadium, I wonder if they'll be taking this overhanging roof.
Yeah, and the pillars.
Yes.
I think if they're being demolished, we would happily be part of that ceremony, to be honest.
It's great when there's a bye kick or even the long shies from Shaughnessy. The ball disappears into space, and you're just guessing where it's going to come down.
What we do know is it's a corner kick here for Dundee. On the right hand side, in it comes, lots of height on it, plenty attacking of the ball too, and in the end the effort is dragged wide of target on the back of that set piece for Dundee. It was Portales who had a swing at it with his left boot from about 10 yards out, but it's well wide of Ross Laidlaw's goal.
I'm always fascinated by corners. That's 4 corners so far, and they're basically flooding the box with so many bodies. You know, it's one of those, I always try and study corners. I know this sounds really boring, but you know, it's always try, how do you create space in the corner? You know, when you defend it, you want bodies in it. That's where a lot of teams zone. But at the moment there's that many bodies, it's very, very hard for somebody to get a clear run in a free header. There's that many people in that 18-yard box.
It might sound boring, Callum, but it's certainly where a lot of games are won and lost.
Yeah, I know, it's one of those. That's my job at Millwall at Stoke, study the corners. So, you know, 6 in, 5 in, 7 in, you know, all that type of thing. It's actually quite interesting when you get to sort of understand what's going on with the set plays. Ultimately, it does come down to delivery, and players want to attack the ball. But I think it's really important you try and create space for your best attacking players to go and head the ball.
Have you thought about a couple of minutes in the mastermind chair, maybe corner kick specialist subject?
I could be one. Probably feel that one as well. So
it's not a corner kick at the moment. It's a free kick to Dundee. Just about 15 yards inside their own half. Both teams still trying to settle into the game, really, after 3.5 weeks of inactivity. Forward it comes from Carson, aiming towards Amadou Bakayoko, but it was pretty well defended again by Ross County. Looked pretty safe and solid so far. In comes another Dundee crossball though towards Rodden, and Dylan Smith stuck very closely to him to make sure he wasn't going to get a shot in on goal from the angle.
It was a great ball in. I think it was Finlay Robertson put a ball in, and Jack gets across the defender. And, you know, unlucky, he just doesn't make clean contact there, because again it was about 6 yards out, and it was a chance for Dundee.
Down the right side, lovely back heel from Rodney. He really has produced some nice touches in the game so far when the ball has come his way. Portales attacking for Dundee, but he doesn't find the pass, and Smith intervening, intercepting for Ross County. And now it's Murray coming in off the left-hand side, and well, there were 3 white shirts flooding into the box, looking to be picked out with a cut back there from Murray, who looked to have done the difficult bit, but when he did play it, and he played it in far too close to Carson.
Yeah, a couple of really poor bits of play. Portales to start with, and then Joe Shaughnessy's diving in, leaving Murray free down the left-hand side, and then the third bit of play was a really poor ball, and he's got to have a little bit more composure there, you know, and basically look for somebody rather than just play it across the face straight into the goalie.
Meantime, a hefty challenge from Jack Baldwin on Luke McCowan, and what Baldwin doesn't need is a yellow card against his name already. That's exactly what's happened. It was close to halfway. Challenge he didn't really need to be making.
That's the one that really frustrates you as a manager. You know, I think he doesn't need to go in there and make that tackle. Obviously puts him under pressure now for the rest of the game.
Best part of 17 minutes gone. 0-0. Dundee have got a free kick on the left side. Finlay Robertson plays it in from the set piece. Decent delivery, but nobody able to get in on the end of that. Jordan McGee was attacking it, but he couldn't get his head to it, and it flies behind for a goal kick.
Sorry, I didn't see that. I didn't see that because Brian McLaughlin was standing right in my way, taking the drinks and pie order.
See, when we're getting rid of the pillars, I'm going to get rid of him as well.
It's a bit harsh.
He's certainly not going to be your assistant on set plays then.
Forward it goes to a County, aiming at Jordan White, the obvious target when they launch it forward. The ball pinging back and forth at the moment. No great flow to the game so far. And goalless at Dens on BBC Radio Scotland. And almost dwelling on the ball too long at the back was youngster Dylan Smith. In the end, it cannons behind off Robertson.
Lucky to get away with that one, really. He's too slow in the ball. Great pressure from young Finlay Robertson. But again, he didn't get really lucky for Ross County. He didn't get caught in possession.
On the ball, Rudden with another intelligent back heel to find Finlay Robertson. And now McGee, right-hand side for Dundee, fired forward for Bakayoko. Lead off towards McCowan, right-hand side, good left foot cross, headed away by Randall. Tucking back into the penalty box to do some important defending. And now in the break, after good work from Laturi, here goes Danda for Canty, who rolls it to the side. Big chance for the opening goal of the game. Jordan White denied by the right boot of Carson. Big chance for Canty to go in front.
That was a huge chance. I think it was Simon Murray in the end who slipped through. It was perfectly weighted ball from Danda. I thought he'd maybe waited a split second too long, but not at all. He waited it perfectly for the striker, and I think that's one of those ones that falls firmly into the should have done better category.
Yeah, definitely. He's got to go low and hard to the goalie's right-hand side across the goal there. It was a great pass through, great weighted pass. It's the quality that he's looking for.
Sliding challenge from Laturi, but he can't stop the progress of Dundee. It's Robertson from the right side of the penalty box with a good strike, and it's scrambled behind by Laidlaw.
That's a good quick attack from Dundee. Ball's up to the striker, it's back to McCowan. He's got a brilliant weighted ball into Finlay. First time pass into Finlay Robertson, and then he shifts it and gets a good strike away, and Laidlaw called into action, puts it behind for the corner kick. But that was a good response there from Dundee up the other end at speed.
Just signs that this game is coming alive at Dens after a slow start. Corner kick for the home team. Owen Beck curls it in, but he curls it in too close to the goalkeeper. And reaching above everybody in that 6-yard box was Ross Laidlaw. Comfortable handling.
Too many bodies in there,
You know, on a serious note, a lot of the times when you see corners and set pieces played, it does amaze me how often you see the attacking players hanging about the penalty spot, and it feels like they're already little space for them to go and attack.
Yeah,
you know, they're static.
They always get too close to the ball. It's always a thing. They always going too far, or if it's an in swing or out swing, the starting position have to be different. You know, that's one of my biggest bugbears there is the goalie. He comes to the 6-yard box and just collects the ball with no pressure.
Yep.
There's no pressure on the goalkeeper there. You know, it's a decent ball, middle of 6-yard box.
Aye.
And there's no pressure on Laidlaw there just to go and take it.
I was just going to, I mean, I said before, I think Owen Beck, not just from set pieces, but open play, I think his delivery's pretty good. And that one there, yep, you're looking at it and going, that's not a bad ball. If somebody's actually just making it a wee bit more difficult for Laidlaw, and you've got people running in on top, I think it was Shaughnessy was not a million miles away from it in the end. But if Laidlaw had been, you know, having to work his way round somebody or whatever, it could well have been that the defender was getting on it.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things you don't want that the goalie to happen, and it gives the attacker the chance. You know, obviously quality balls in the box are sometimes far and few between. You know, so it's when you get one, you want to make the most of it.
Canty looking to build something down the right-hand side. Murray jinks his way inside, goes flying into the air looking for a free kick. And Colin Stephen pretty unimpressed, but Canty still in possession. Leak plays it to Danda, looking to jink his way away from Boateng. Cuts inside Ross County's number 10, and then spins the ball back out wide for Brown. Back to Danda, tries the first-time cross, and Malachy Boateng in front of him to make sure that didn't get into the box. Flies out for a throw-in. Instead, 10 yards from the corner flag, right-hand side. 0-0.
If Boateng wasn't there, then that would have been causing Dundee some real problems. But Danda, he took the ball initially really well, gets past Boateng, he's goal side of him, and I don't know why he doesn't just keep going. The midfielder's trying to get back and obviously put him under pressure, but he is goal side of him. Just make sure your body's in the way, and then the Dundee player, all he can do is either foul you or he can't get the ball. For the life of me, I don't know why he didn't keep driving towards the penalty box there.
In comes the long throw from Jack Baldwin for Ross County, bouncing inside the box, the knockdown, and in the end the shot doesn't really carry too much sting, and one bouncing into the gloves of Carson. Goalless at Dens on BBC Radio Scotland, this rearranged game between Dundee and Ross County. And on the attack for Dundee is Ricky Lamy, who angles a ball into the box. Headed clear by Leake, and it's Zach Rodden who takes the shot on from the edge of the area. A bit of a sclaff, and down goes a comfortable Laidlaw to make the save.
Yeah, that's where Ricky Lamy's got loads and loads of space. I don't know why he doesn't. You talk about Danda there driving to space. Ricky Lamy's the same. He's got loads of space to go. Just keep going. Committed defender, then play the pass. He's obviously played the pass too early. Really difficult ball to play, but it looks like it's where Dundee might get their joy down this left-hand side.
The Dundee fans, Michael, will be hoping that the team sheet is not ominous, as you were pointing out before. It does say Cinch Championship at the top of it. Hopefully that's not where they're heading.
Hopefully not. I think that I think they do have it. I think they've got enough, Dundee, from what I've seen this season, to make sure that they're competitive and avoiding a return down to the Cinch Championship. And they won't need these sheets of paper that they're using for the team sheets any longer.
Forward it goes for Dundee from Shaughnessy. Headed away by Leake.
An unfortunate name for a defender.
Yeah. Rodden again tries to get onto it for Dundee. Right hand side, flashes a ball across goal over the gloves of the goalkeeper, but swerving out for a goal kick in the end. Dundee 0, Ross County 0. Best chance so far, Simon Murray?
Absolutely. You know, he should have scored. And I was saying this before the game. He'll score you goals, but there's always other ones when you look at with Simon Murray. You think to yourself, could have done better, and that was certainly one of them where Danda did brilliantly. He made a good run, just left that bit of space for the ball to get played into, and Danda laid it on a plate perfectly, and it wasn't a difficult opportunity. He had space either side of the goalkeeper to slide it past him and put his side in front.
Robertson on the ball for Dundee. Clever ball into the box, and it's well cut out as well. It was angled in very invitingly, and in the end it was Owen Beck who'd made the run into the box, and in the end a Ross County head manages to glance it behind for the corner. Yeah,
I like the look of Dundee's two advanced midfielders, Finlay Robertson and Luke McCowan. I think both of them have got that little bit of quality. Both obviously left-footed, which quality does come from Michael, doesn't it? You know, left-footed players, but I think they're a little bit of a threat, and I think if they can get them on the ball in good areas, they'll cause Ross County problems.
Another Dundee corner. Beck swings it in, keeps it further away from the goalkeeper this time. The header from Jordan McGee beyond the back post, loops it in, but again it's Laidlaw who comes to collect for County, and immediately launches the ball forward for Luturi, left-hand side, but allows the ball to go out for the throw, and that is frustrating for the Dingwall team.
I think Finlay Robertson, you're not going to get to steal him into the left-footed category. I think he's two-footed. He's definitely, and that's not normal for a left-footer.
That was a left-foot ball he just put in the box. Was fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's two-footed. It's because he's two-footed.
The ball slipped down the left-hand side for County. No joy for Murray. Stopped convincingly, and Dundee looked to spark an attack and to play the ball out wide for Rodden, but too wide out before he could get a touch on it. Zach Rodden throwing on halfway. Dundee 0, Ross County 0. Only Callum's former team St Johnstone below these two at the moment in the Premiership, but there are real possibilities in terms of climbing the table. 3 points would be massive for either of these teams, as youngster Smith plays it wide to Brown, midway inside the Dundee half for Ross County. McCowan intercepting, and the ball in the end goes out off Danda. for a Dundee throw, and 21-year-old Owen Beck will take this. And he's looked pretty impressive so far, involved in all aspects of the play for Tony Docherty's team. Docherty, 11 games in charge so far, having struck out on his own. Long-time assistant. But getting off to a pretty decent start with Dundee so far this season. McCowan on the ball, looking to link with Robertson, but didn't get the pass right. And Ryan Leake can get that away for County. Down the left-hand side. Forward it goes again, and Jack Baldwin gets his head to it, powers it out of play on the far side. Baldwin has to be careful with a yellow card against his name already in the way he plays. Could be dangerous. Back it goes for Dundee to Carson. 5 yards outside the penalty box. The Northern Irishman angles a ball forward towards Bakayoko. Not really been in the game much at all so far, Amadou Bakayoko. Here come County in response, and Danda plays another clever ball forward, looking for Murray, and the ball goes behind of Ricky Lamy for a corner kick for the Dingwall team.
I've been watching Dander's movement in the last probably 5 minutes. He's quite clever, because he's just drifted out to this right-hand side. You know, he's trying to move Boateng. He's trying to give Boateng a problem, and it's a lot. It's a lot of Ross County joy's coming from. He's picking a lot of second phase ball up, and then he's got that little quality pass to slide in for the strikers.
The small but happy band of Ross County fans who've made it here, watching this corner kick from Danda. Out swinging, the header in on goal, saved by Carson, who stretched out a hand. Dundee scramble it away.
I don't know how that's not ended up in the back of the net. You know, it's sometimes your vantage point can be deceiving. That just looked as if it was going past the keeper into the net.
I thought it was a brilliant save. If I'm honest, from here it looked like he's just, it's a reaction save. He stuck out with his right hand, and I thought it was going to hit the back of the net, and it's a brilliant save and kept his team in the game.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell from here how much power there was on that, but he just almost nonchalantly stuck out his right hand and stopped the ball going past him. Ross County will be feeling at the moment that they could well be ahead in the game. Nothing serious for Laidlaw to do so far, but certainly plenty happening around Carson so far, as Rodden plays a ball in behind James Brown, and he spins away and gives the ball to Danda. Back with Irishman Brown again, up towards Murray on halfway with the back heel. McCowan saw it coming, and he intercepts for Dundee. Antonio Portales on the right side of the back three for the home team, with experienced campaigners Shaughnessy and Lamy alongside, and back it goes to the equally experienced Trevor Carson behind him. The goalkeeper's clearance up towards the right side for McGee to flick it on, but it goes out for the throw-in for Ross County. Lost their last three, Malky Mackay's team, twice to Aberdeen in both League and League Cup, and also that home game against Hearts, which was their last game.
I think it's really tough sometimes. You get a run of fixtures, you're quite difficult, and it's just try to remain level-headed, remain calm. You know, I think he's assembled a good squad, and it's just making sure he keeps his players there, and I think that's why he's probably disappointed he's not had games for a while.
Another good example of that is the run of results that Motherwell have been on. They've obviously come up against some of the tougher teams in the league as well, and actually been unfortunate not to get something from those games, and then defeat against Livingston as well. It makes things
with 10 men as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it kind of like exaggerates everyone, doesn't it, a little bit.
Yep.
And it's I think it's really important you don't get too carried away when you win lots of games, or when you go through that little spell where you struggle to get the 3 points.
I was just about to say that for Motherwell, who have been doing very well, they're clearly a good side, but it then becomes a psychological test of not getting too down on the back of what has been a poor run of results, even though some of the performances in there have been pretty good.
Throw in left-hand side for County. Baldwin takes it short, gets it back, whips across into the box, and Dundee get it clear. It was Portales just leathering it forward. And back it's going to come from Purrington. Lammy with the header for the home team. And
sometimes I don't understand players playing long straight balls up the pitch. It's another one of my pet hates. You get one of my pet hates tonight. It's just a long straight ball. For me, that's just so easy for defenders to deal with. Hit it at an angle or do something slightly different, curl it down the side, whatever it is. Just don't hit it straight down the middle. He had time to do something different there, didn't he?
He did. And then we've ended up with a reverse dirty dancing there. Ben Purrington was, I think it was Purrington.
Yeah, it was.
On the back of Bakayoko.
Yeah, clambering all over him, and the free kick given. Finlay Robertson angles in the free kick for Dundee, aiming for Shaughnessy. No joy for Dundee from that set piece, and the ball is collected on halfway by Boateng, on loan from Crystal Palace. Malaki Boateng, his cross was blocked, and the ball goes out on that right side for a throw-in.
Both teams have got good, we're talking about set plays and free kicks, both are quite physically strong, and you know, good size about them, both teams. You know, I think it helps when you play a back three, you allow three centre halves in there. Again, it gives you that more stability when you are defending corners and free kicks.
Almost inside the last 10 minutes of the first half at Dens. Dundee 0, Ross County 0. Rudden collects the ball at the edge of the penalty box and lays it off and gets himself into the danger zone. Can Dundee find some supply for the strike pair of Rudden and Bakayoko? Cross ball from the right side from Robertson, deflected on its way. Again, it doesn't really ask serious enough questions of County defensively, and then frustratingly for Dundee, a blast of Colin Stevens' whistle, and it's a free kick to the Dingwall team.
I think there's too many balls going in from probably 25-30 yards out. I'd like to see them try get into that sort of last 18 and then starting to put crosses in, because again they're all good sides at the back. They're all very comfortable with dealing with balls, high balls in the box. But I'd like to see Dundee, both teams, try to get into that sort of that other crossing position, you know, probably 10-12 yards out from the byline, and then putting it across the face of the goal low and hard, and ask questions that way of the defenders, rather than these balls from 30-40 yards out. That's, for me, easy to deal with.
It's penetration. You know, once you can get penetration in the wide areas in particular, like Callum's talking about, when you're putting balls into the box, it completely changes the whole dynamic of it. He's absolutely spot on. When you've got three big centre halves like that, they'll be just lapping up balls getting thrown in from 30-40 yards out, because they can see it in front of them all the way. Once you get in from 18 yards particularly, you know, if you're using that edge of the box as a sort of marker, from there to the byline, you're putting balls across the edge or into the box, whether they're high or on the deck. A lot of the times you've got defenders that are ending up facing their own goal. It changes things dramatically.
Dundee looking to be a bit more inventive in their game, a bit more creative. Here goes McCowan, talking of creative, down the left-hand side. Useful ball inside. Backtracking was Laturi to intercept. And now, eventually, Ryan Leake will get it away, gives it to Purrington to clear. In the end for Ross County, it was better from Dundee.
Yeah, great defending tackle there by Laturi. But again, we just talked about the ball. He's actually passed into the box, caused them all sorts of problems. The Ross County defenders are facing the wrong way. It's a fantastic back tackle. For me, definitely prevents a real opportunity there for Dundee.
It's another yellow card for County. I think it was Simon Murray that was booked that time. And it's going to be a free kick almost on the halfway line.
Even here, Michael, we're talking about it, we're on the halfway line. Can we change the angle of the cross? Can we get something from a different angle?
Yeah, because throwing it in from here is very difficult. It becomes quite straight.
Yeah, watch them score from it.
Owen Beck for Dundee with the free kick. Into the box it goes, looking for the head of Lamy. And when it popped into the central area, just outside the box, it was Bakayoko had a swing at it with his right boot, never near goal, well off target. And Dundee's number 9, unable really to have any great impact in the game so far, behind for a goal kick. 0-0, and if either of these two were to go in front, it does look, on the evidence of what we've seen so far, that it would be Ross County likely to go in front. That's a howler of a kick out from Ross Laidlaw there, a complete miscue from the goalkeeper, and as you do, you just wipe the studs and look at the pitch and wonder what could have been responsible for that, other than making a complete hash of the goal kick.
Yeah, Michael used to do that. He used to look at the pitch all the time. After he used to play a diagonal pass or something, didn't you, Michael?
Straight to the player, though.
And the wrong one.
That looked like a John Rankin squiggler or something from the goalkeeper, from his kick out there. He was lucky to get away with it. It did reach halfway somehow. Further forward, Jan Danda has been a player of influence, as you expect him to be for Ross County. His pass, which played in Simon Murray for the big chance of the game, his corner kick, which produced a close-range header saved by Carson. Maybe the two big moments so far of this first half, which hasn't been wonder football so far, as Rudden picks the ball up left-hand side, curling a cross ball in. Stooping to it away was Ryan Leake, and a shot from 25 yards in the end from Bakayoko on his left foot, which again lacked conviction, and it wasn't a big save for Laidlaw.
Yeah, I think if I'm Beck there, I'm a bit annoyed. He made a great run inside Rudden. If he just slides him the ball, he's in that sort of last 6 yards towards the byline in a great crossing position. Zach's just chosen to cross it from deep again, but again it's that wing back position. Can we get them higher up? Can we get them in those more sort of areas where they can hurt the opposition team?
At Dens Park, Dundee 0, Ross County 0. The only Premiership match of the night. Plenty of Champions League action going on. But these two making up lost ground in terms of games missed. This only their 8th game of the season. Laturi plays a nice looking ball forward for Ross County, collected by Murray, but a delayed offside flag goes up.
Again, good bit of play by Ross County, just showing that little bit of composure, trying to use Laturi in the back three to sort of get out, and they managed to get out with good quality ball. I don't know if it was offside from the original one.
Yeah, I think so.
But again, a better quality pass, and again, good play from Ross County to try and get into that final third.
Long ball forward from Portales for Dundee. Amadou Bakayoko after it, on loan from Forest Green Rovers. Couldn't do much with it as it bounces out of play close to the corner flag on the far side. Ross County have looked pretty calm and composed so far in most parts of their play. Dundee maybe looking the rustier after both these teams play for the first time since the last day of September.
Probably quite even so far. I think both teams have had little spells in the game. I think when Ross County get down and pass it, I think they look like they can get into that opposition half and cause problems. And Dundee have got a lot of good areas. I think they just probably that final pass just let them down just now.
Lamy to Beck, left-hand side. Owen Beck has been one of the game's better players in the first 45. Nice passing from Dundee, Boateng involved, and back goes James Brown to stop the pass getting through towards Beck. It was better build-up from Dundee. Beck with the throw, Maliki Boateng taking the ball from him, left-hand side. Back has gone Jordan White to help out defensively. Now McCowan spinning away, or trying to, from Laturi, who tries to stick closely to the Dundee midfielder. close to the corner flag, and McCowan in the end plays it off Laturi and behind for the corner.
Yeah, those two guys down the left-hand side, McCowan and Beck, are the ones that look most likely for me, for Dundee, to create something. Good bit of play down the narrow side, but they worked the angle. McCowan in the end being able to get the corner kick for Dundee, and Finlay Robertson taking it with his right foot now.
The corner kick next to the Dens Park tunnel, swung in by Robertson, good punch by Laidlaw, gets it out of the area. Brown tries to get it further clear, back in from Boateng, who whips it across to the left hand side, back to Robertson, curled in from Finlay Robertson. It's a really good try. There were 5 dark blue shirts inside the 6-yard box, unable to pick it out, but it was a good try.
It was a great ball with his left foot there. You know, it's a good pass by Boateng. Again, in that danger zone, he's put a fantastic ball across and inches away from getting a header on it and scoring a goal.
But I mean, I know it's obviously just the second phase of a set piece there, but it shows you again, when you're throwing balls in from close to the byline, it makes it so difficult for defenders. Yeah, Cam will tell you, the last thing you want to be doing is facing your own goal, having to clear your lines. It's not an enjoyable place to be, and that was a really, really good ball there from Finlay Robertson.
Well, how many bodies are inside that 6-yard box? It is heavily populated, for sure. And Colin Stevens just having a little pointless discussion with a couple of players involved. Here's the corner kick. Beck plays it in from the right side, and not for the first time in the game, a comfortable, unchallenged catch for Ross Laidlaw, who fires it forward looking for Laturi, looking to spark something for County. Back it comes, and Leak plays it inside towards Smith. Bakayoko is right on top of him, and the ball is out for a throw-in on the far side. Sometimes County just taking a little bit too long on the ball defensively before getting rid of it.
I thought that was actually the right pass. I think his teammates just got to give him a little bit more of a hand. You know, I think it's that angle he's got to make and try and clear his lines a bit easier.
Well, we've played just about 45 minutes, and we are inside the one and only minute being added on. Still inseparable, these two. They are both on 7 Premiership points coming into this, and unless something happens pretty quickly and pretty dramatically, they're going to be level halfway through this rearranged game. Back it goes to Lamy for Dundee. His swinging cross is cleared by Purrington. Jordan White tries to get there. Boateng intercepts. Murray wins it to Jordan White just alongside him. And there is Colin Stevens. Half-time whistle. They are inseparable at the moment, Dundee and Ross County, as they shake off the rust of 3.5 weeks without a game. Malky Mackay's team have looked pretty calm and organised, and they've certainly had a couple of decent chances, both prompted by Jan Danda. Firstly, on the break, his pass played in Simon Murray, who had a great chance to be beating Trevor Carson, rather than seeing his unconvincing side foot effort kicked away via the right boot of the Northern Ireland international goalkeeper. Then there was a corner kick from Danda on the right-hand side, which found a Ross County head close in, and Carson made a good reaction save. No great saves required at the other end by Ross Laidlaw. There have been promising moments for Dundee. Robertson and McCowan prominent in trying to make things happen, but so far no real ventures of interest into the penalty box for them, and it's goalless half-time at Dens. Dundee 0, Ross County 0.
Dundee versus Ross County.
What a strike!
This is Sports Sound
from BBC Radio Scotland. following Scotland's teams in Europe.
You can feel that sense of occasion, the buzz. This is a huge tie.
The action lives here.
Now it's time to show what they are made of.
Celtic versus Atletico Madrid.
Tomorrow from 7.
They have their first Champions League goal of the season!
And on Thursday from 5.
Sparta Prague versus Rangers in the Europa League.
Rangers have the breakthrough!
Followed by Aberdeen versus PAOK in the Europa Conference League.
Listen on digital radio or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland Extra.
We will continue our build-up to that Champions League match tomorrow evening in a few minutes' time. The Atletico Madrid media conference finished a short time ago. We'll hear what the manager Diego Simeone had to say. We'll also hear from a Premiership manager, a few here at Dens Park, I was going to call it, but it is called the Scott Foam Stadium here in Dundee. Goalless at half-time. We'll hear from a Premiership manager in a few minutes' time, Callum Davis. And what's your assessment of that first half? Talk to us about the tactical battle that's going on.
Yeah, I think obviously both teams are set up, kind of stop each other. I think the key area for me, Ross County is Danda. I think his positional play is really good. He's moving off the side of Boateng. Now then the question is, can Ross County get him on the ball? I think when we watched the first half, I think when you see him get on the ball, he gets that half turn, he can play those passes, he can play it with quality. For me, they haven't got him on the ball enough. Now there's a question, can they get him on the ball second half? For Dundee, I think they've played the two advanced fielders, the two young lads further forward. They're the ones. I would like to see a bit more from Bakayoko. I don't think he's really got involved in the game. I think down the left-hand side looks like Clare Dundee will get out with Beck, McCowan, Lammy. Can they create overloads and overlaps and underlaps and get into good areas, and get that final pass. I'd like to see Dundee try to get a little bit higher up before they put the ball in the box. And ask more questions of the Ross County defenders. But for me, it's quite an even game. Tactically, it'll be interesting. If there's any little tweaks at half-time, we'll watch out for that and try and inform you if that happens. But again, who will be happier? I'm not sure. They'll both go probably a wee bit frustrated, both managers, but at times we're quite pleased. Probably Malky will probably be happier because obviously the chance, they're two of the best chances in the game. Fantastic saves by the goalkeeper. I think Murray, his movement to get in that first opportunity to slide down the inside right channel was fantastic. But the frustration is then he's got to hit that across the goalkeeper, and then if he does save it and it pops out, then obviously there might be a chance for somebody else. But that was the big chance in the game.
Yeah, and the weight of the pass to play him in, Michael, was real quality, wasn't it? And he should have scored. Simon Murray, he's a player you identified before the game, have been a bit, lots of ability, but a bit frustrating at times.
Yeah, I just think for all the goals that he scores, on occasions it feels like he's a little bit wasteful, and that was one of those moments where there might not be too many of them in the game. That could be the difference between taking 3 points or only getting a draw. But for me, the biggest thing is Ross County have had the better opportunities there, but in the actual build-up and the phases of play, Dundee are the ones that, with a small tweak here or there, I think are the ones that have potentially got more danger in their game. And it comes to the point that Callum's been making, and where the crosses are coming from. For me, if Tony Docherty's in there speaking to the team, I'd be hammering home that point. We need to be getting to the byline. That they've got the ball into some really good areas, but then they've just forced it, or they've panicked a little bit and thrown it in a little bit too quickly. Just look to get that extra pass in, and to be getting guys that are running into those channels in between the wing backs and the outside centre half, and get those balls being put into the box from a slightly deeper in terms of closer to the byline. And it changes things dramatically. But yeah, the build-up play from Dundee with Finlay Robertson and Luke McCowan, they're good football players. They're intelligent football players, and with Beck down this left-hand side as well, I think they've got a wee bit more in their armoury to go and open up the opposition. Having said all that, Ross County are the ones that have created well, I know obviously one of them was just from a set piece, but the ball through from Danda for Simon Murray was probably the clearest opportunity that there's been in the game so far.
So in the Premiership this evening at half-time, it's Dundee 0, Ross County 0. Tomorrow evening on Sports, and we have Champions League action for you. Celtic at home to Atletico Madrid. Full coverage on the programme. We kick off at 7:05 tomorrow evening. We heard from Brendan Rodgers earlier in the programme. The Atletico press conference finished a short time ago. Our reporter Martin Dowden was there. Good evening to you, Martin. Lots of talk today around the choice of strip for the visitors tomorrow evening. Did Diego Simeone have much to say on that?
Well, Kenny, it's sometimes it's not what people say and how you interpret what they're saying as well. Yes, I was in the presence of Diego Simeone, the Athletic manager, of course, someone who's associated with the darker arts of football. Very interesting indeed. This whole story, this issue about the strip has really taken hold amongst the Celtic support in particular. And I have to say, the Celtic fans I know of that vintage tend to hold Atletico Madrid in utter contempt. That's because they met in a European Cup semi-final in 1974, the first leg at Celtic Park. Athletic basically didn't try to play football from the off. They had 3 men sent off, kicked Celtic off the park before eventually progressing to their first ever European final. I had a very quick conversation via an interpreter with Spanish journalists who seemed a little bit surprised that this had blown up as a big issue. But when Captain Koke and Simeone spoke, they pointed to the fact that these 74 guys are actual heroes at Atletico, not just for what they did at Celtic Park that night, for getting to the final. They did lose that final, it was their first ever one, but they then, because Munich didn't take up the invitation to the Intercontinental Cup final, Atleti got there and they won that, so it was a very prestigious competition at the time. But just when you thought that, maybe we've all misinterpreted this and this isn't a big wind-up for Celtic and designed to annoy them, Simeone then threw in at the very end a reference to 1967. Now, you would expect that would be about Celtic's European Cup win, of course. No, it was actually about Celtic's matches against Racing Club in the Intercontinental Cup, which, if you remember, was another version of a similar thing that Atletico did at Parkhead, a game that went down in history for Racing Club and their approach, and also Celtic completely losing the plot in that game. So yeah, just when you thought that this might all be a misunderstanding on their behalf, it seems Simeone and Atleti might just be playing games a little bit. He was finally asked about whether he enjoys a hostile atmosphere, Kenny. He simply laughed and said, "No, I prefer people to enjoy the game and laugh in the stands," and walked out the room laughing his head off. I think that gives you a sense of what he's expecting tonight.
Yeah, he's quite a character. I watched the Beckham documentary last night. There's no doubt he is a big character, Diego Simeone. He certainly likes to mix it as a manager and as a player, Martin. So interesting to see how that plays out in the stadium tomorrow evening, if there is an added edge. What did he have to say about this Brendan Rodgers Celtic side?
Very, very complimentary of Celtic. Talked about how they have a good structure, they have a strong system that they stick to, they press you up in your own half. He talked about the youth in their forward line. I'm not sure that some of them are Kyogo, about 28, but I think he's talking maybe a bit more the youthful exuberance and the way they come at you and press you high. He seemed very, very, very complimentary of Celtic, about the stadium, about the history of the club. What was very interesting though was the Spanish journalists in the room. Obviously Atletico are on a very good run domestically. They've got star names, but they were questioning them on the recent record in the Champions League, not just in this campaign, which I got the sense they felt has been underwhelming, but over the last 2 or 3 years. So we're maybe looking at this side and thinking, wow, they're one of the top sides in the world and a big test for Celtic. They seem to be looking at it as though you need to up your act in the Champions League, and that was certainly the line of questioning they went down. So it seems as though they might feel they've got something to prove coming to Celtic Park tomorrow night.
Fantastic, thank you very much indeed to our reporter Martin Dowden there. He's been at both media conferences today. Should be an absolute cracker tomorrow evening in the Champions League. Celtic desperately in need of the point at home to Atletico Madrid. Sports Sound kicks off at 7:05. It's Premiership action we have for you this evening. Goalless at half-time, Dundee against Ross County. A few Premiership managers here at the stadium this evening, including the Livingston boss, Davy Martindale. He's live now with Brian McLaughlin.
Well, Kenny, he's just told me it's now Atletico Livingston, and he wants to be known as David Simeone Martindale. I don't know what you call you, Simeone, Davy, whatever. David, what did you make of that 45 minutes?
I thought it was two teams that kind of their shape cancelled each other out, but there's opportunities for both teams. I think Simon Murray had the best chance of the game through and goal from the angle, but Trevor came up with a big save, so there's not a lot in the game, to be honest.
What did you learn about Dundee in particular, because you have them twice in the next, in 8 days, this Saturday and a week on Sunday?
You learn very little, to be honest, Brian, but I know...
So why are you here?
Well, you come up to try and learn a bit more, but there's not a lot you can learn. They're very, very productive at set plays, and I think you could see that tonight. They're quite creative at the set plays. They're a big threat from set plays. Going down into that slope, it's hard to defend it also, so not really learning too much, to be honest, other than I know how dangerous they are at set plays.
It's a busy time just now, David. You've got 3 games, of course. You've got these 2 matches against Dundee and then a trip to Tynecastle. Between now and the next international window, do you set yourself a target?
Not really, Brian. We just take every game as it comes and we look to pick up the 3 points within that game. So I'm no big in setting targets. You don't meet your targets, then you're dealing with the adversity. So at a club our size, it's just about going out, reset after the last game, looking forward to the next game and see where we can pick points up.
The burning question, we ask you every year, Davey. I ask you, you've got a smile on your face now, you know it's coming. I've asked you a couple of times this season and you've dodged an answer. Will Livingston survive this season once again in the Premiership?
I'm going to dodge it again, Brian.
Why?
Because you done me in the last time.
In all seriousness, though, when you look at Hearts in 4th at the moment, even St Johnstone, only 7 points.
You want to know my honest opinion this year? I think generally from 3rd down, maybe 4th down, I think it's going to be a roller coaster for most clubs. I don't think there's going to be a lot in the league right up to match day 33, and then when we get to split it's going to be really tight. But I genuinely believe this year is going to be really tight. We won our game on Saturday, you could be sitting 5th. Get beat this Saturday, you could be sitting 11th, and I think that's going to be the kind of story of the season. I think it's a really competitive league.
How's your squad looking for Saturday?
Yeah, we're okay. Hopefully Big Isle returns. He's going to train tomorrow. So we're in a pretty good place. Michael Nottingham's returning to training this week also. So a no bad place.
In terms of tonight, do you think we'll have a winner tonight?
Pardon?
Do you think we'll have a winner tonight?
I hope not. I'll be brutally honest. I'm looking for a draw. Fingers crossed it's a draw.
I'm sure you'll be here till the 90 minutes, 6 minutes of added on time, David. If not, the game's on Sports Sound, so you can tune in.
I'll look forward to that one.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, Brian. Cheers.
Good stuff. The Livy manager, Davy Martindale. Good tune on at the moment, I have to say. The view that reminds me of Sports Sound on a Saturday evening. We play that to kick us off, and we get the fans involved 5:30 until 7 o'clock every Saturday evening. All the games I go to throughout the past few seasons, Callum, I have to say the 2 managers here at most games, Davy Martindale and Brian Rice, but he just told us here you don't learn too much.
He's just getting out the house.
I think I've been to about 4 or 5 games already. Probably the last 3 weeks at Stuart Kettlewell. I've met every single. I'm like, what are you doing? It's Friday night. He's probably here tonight as well.
He is
here tonight. There you go. So he just wants to get out of the house as well. My missus is just delighted I'm out here because I'm out of the house.
What do you think then? Do you think it's accurate what he's saying? I think you were suggesting that you both were suggesting this earlier, how open the league is this season. He was saying from 3rd, possibly 4th down.
I'd say tight, rather than open. I think. I think it's. I think you're right. I think it's. When teams get it right, it's very, very difficult. And I think you see from the game so far, I think teams, I think Dundee beat Hearts here, didn't they? So it's possible to get those results and get those games, and somebody's got to build that sort of momentum and get on a run to get out of it. And that's the big thing. And I think I laughed at when Davey was saying that he hopes it's a draw, because that's what I used to think as well. When I go to games, what do you want? Oh, I don't want a good game. I just want a 0-0 draw and go home.
Well, I tell you, I don't overly disagree with that assessment in terms of how the league will be, but to me, that speaks volumes of where Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen are and where they should be.
Good point. Yep.
Because it shouldn't be as tight as it is. I know we're not far into the league yet, but if you've got a manager, in the Premiership there, thinking ahead and how he sees the league unfolding, I think that's quite telling. And for Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen, they managed to finish 3rd, 4th and 5th last year. They should all be in that top 5, and I don't think it should be as tight as it could potentially be.
Yep, no guarantee of that certainly this season. Let's get back then to this game's second half commentary. Dundee against Ross County with Callum, Michael and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Kenny. Just about to restart for the second half. It's not been a belter so far, but there's a big prize for either of these teams if they can turn 1 point into 3. And it's Malaki Boateng who gets us started in the second half at Dens. Dundee 0, Ross County 0. And Danda immediately looking to get himself involved, and Ross County will want him on the ball as much as possible, because when it's at his feet, as it is at the moment, things are likely to happen. He tries to curl the ball down the line, blocked by Boateng, who's sticking pretty close to him, and the ball is out for a throw-in on the halfway line. County in all white, Dundee in all dark blue, and Tony Docherty will certainly be looking for a little bit more from his team, the home team. They're going to get into better areas, try to get in behind, try to get better deliveries into the box, try and ask some questions of the County back three and goalkeeper, who've been relatively comfortable so far. And it's County in possession, and it's Puddington who flights one into the box. Stumbling and hitting the deck was Jordan White, but the free kick goes against him.
Well, I mean, it just shows you, it depends on where you're looking at it from, but you know, from this vantage point, Shaughnessy's got a fistful of Jordan White's jersey. It's pulling it, and no doubt from the other side the referee's looking at it, and I'm imagining that Jordan White must have been pulling Shaughnessy's jersey, or something else is going awry, but Shaughnessy was fortunate the linesman on this side has not seen it and flagged.
Or maybe it was all based on guesswork, of course, which is
that would never happen, would it?
Distinct possibility. Throw in for Dundee, right hand side, midway inside the County half, and Finlay Robertson looking to get himself started in the second half. Pretty impressive first half. No Lyle Cameron, which is disappointing, not just for Dundee fans but football fans generally. He's a major talent, but then the same can be said of Robertson, who's come into the team here. Luke McCarron prods the pass forward, Zach Rudden onto it, and he rolls it in front of Robertson and doesn't really catch the shot from just inside the penalty box. That's a decent chance for Dundee immediately after the restart, and he hangs his head, the youngster, disappointed that he couldn't get more behind that.
Yeah, it's a really poor pass out from Laidlaw again. Again, it's quick transition, one side of the pitch to the other. And obviously Robertson's on his weaker right foot, you know, and didn't quite catch hold of it.
Meantime, County on the attack. Murray feeds Danda his cross ball, lots of air on it. Time for Carson to come and collect, and then he drives the ball out to the right hand side for Rudden. Good challenge by Leake, and now it's Danda coming in off the left hand side to Laturi.
Head knock here.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm having a laugh here, but it's also a serious point. Left footers are not that good with their weaker foot, so I'm convinced that Finlay Robertson is right footed but very, very accomplished with both feet.
Yeah, I only have a laugh here. I agree with you. I agree with you. He's both footed, but I think that was a great chance. Very similar.
It was
very similar to Murray's chance in the first half. I think he needs to get, again, if he got hold of it, he'd be asked more questions. But again, it's one area maybe Dundee can look to expose. Obviously with Laidlaw, he's been a wee bit nervous under the back pass.
Yeah.
You know, be something they can maybe try and exploit.
He choked his shot a little bit, but I'm not sure whether one of the defenders got a nick on it as well, and it just took even more pace out of the strike. Luke McCown had passed it into Zach Rudden. The two of them were running off him. The problem for McCown was it was very difficult for Rudden, unless it was a back heel, to get it back into his path. Had he done that, I think McCown would have been through a little bit closer in terms of the middle of the goal, and the defence obviously would have been going the other way. But even for Finlay Robertson there, I think it was a very, very good opportunity to be able to test the goalkeeper a wee bit more than he did there.
Dangerous pass across the back line for County, which gave Bakayoko the chance to intercept. But I think in the end the free kick has gone against Dundee's number 9. But taking chances again, Kenty, with the pass, the square pass, just not quite making it. And it certainly encouraged Bakayoko to dive into the challenge.
I think Malky's probably asked the players just to try and play out from the back and try and get Dan on the ball. I think they've obviously made a couple of mistakes, but sometimes when you do that, you can't then just go back and resort just to kicking the ball long again. I think Ross County have got to try and play that way, because it looks like the way, or the sort of how they're going to get the 3 points, or how they're going to get something out of this game.
It remains goalless at Dens. Dundee against Ross County. Carson hammers the ball forward, looking for the head of Bakayoko. Gets his head to it and the ball drops, and it's the number 9 who collects and gives the ball to McCowan. Left-hand side of the box, chips it up towards the back post, and Laidlaw comes to claim it. Promising again from McCowan. He and Robertson and Rodden looking a pretty good attacking trio for Dundee when they get into good areas, and if they can get Bakayoko more involved, then maybe the breakthrough will come.
I think that's a perfect example just there of what I think this Ross County side lack, and that's somebody that can actually pick the ball up and beat an opponent 1v1 in terms of driving with it. Danda picks that up, he's still got time and space, and he takes a touch, he's 40 yards out for his own goal, and he's playing it back the way, and it just kills any momentum. If he'd taken it, he could have been able to turn, go and commit Boateng and actually run and drive up the park, but he's not really that type. He's one that wants to work in the final third. Nice touch, look for wee slide rule passes or crosses into the box. But when you look at the Ross County team as a whole, I don't really see anybody that's got that ability that would pick the ball up and around about the halfway line, middle of the park, and drive and beat a man. They don't really have that in their team.
Free kick going Ross County's way moments ago. That will be quickly followed by a Dundee free kick. And is it going to be another yellow for the team in all white? It certainly is. It's going to be a third booking for Ross County after a lunge on the far side, close to halfway.
I think that's when you get really annoyed with your teammate, because it's actually a really poor pass. And he's made James Brown actually lunge for the ball, you know, and he's ended up giving a free kick away, and he's got a needless booking. You know, and that's the one thing that I think Malky will be really disappointed with in the start of the second half. They've been a little bit sloppy in possession.
So 3 yellows for the Dingwall team, still waiting for a goal in the game. Dundee 0, Ross County 0 on BBC Radio Scotland. Celtic, Atletico Madrid tomorrow night, Champions League. Rangers in Prague and Aberdeen at home to the Greek team PAOK on Thursday. A European double-header. So back it goes from the free kick to Carson, who looks to flight it across right-hand side. Headed out of play by Ben Purrington. Jordan McGee to take the throw in for Dundee. One of 2 changes in their team from the team that played Hibs, if you can remember that far back, 3.5 weeks ago at Easter Road. Almost a chance for Bakayoko. Control let him down. Back from Baldwin to Laidlaw. He clears. Uncertain defending from Dundee, but it finds its way through to Carson, who hacks the ball clear, and collected by Robertson. Back to Portales, his long ball up towards Bakayoko. Baldwin gets there first. The ball spins in the direction of McCowan, who is pulled back by Victor Laturi. And that's as sure a yellow card as you're going to see. One worth taking for the team, because McCowan was off and running.
Yeah, they'd have been under trouble if they'd have been in serious trouble if Luke McCowan had been let free, driving out in the back line there. Just no dealing with it. And then Luke McCowan getting his body in the way, shielding it, and then he was ready to drive forward until Laturi was just having none of it, dragged him back.
So make that 4 bookings for Ross County. They're managing to share them around at the moment, thankfully for Malky Mackay. A free kick for Dundee, just left of centre, and about 45 yards out. Robertson and Beck are over this for the home team. Can Dundee make a breakthrough here? Lots of organising going on defensively for Ross County here.
Looks like they're trying to work something around the back post here.
Beck, well, I'm not sure if that was a driven pass or a shot at goal from incredibly long range. Either way, goes all the way through harmlessly to Ross Laidlaw.
I was so far off the mark there, that was incredible. They went play try one front post.
To be fair, I think the execution's fooled everybody.
I think he must have shanked his pass.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that was deliberate.
Bakayoko gets the ball down for Dundee, rolls it back for Boateng in the middle of the pitch, and he rolls it out left-hand side for Luke McCowan. One of Dundee's better performers on the night. Shaughnessy to Portales, who takes a touch and gets himself away from Jordan White. Back to the skipper, Shaughnessy fires it forward. Paddington's headed away, collected by Jordan White in the middle of the pitch, holds off the challenge and links up with Simon Murray. Murray looking to bustle his way through. Beck's challenge wins it. County have it back with Laturi, and the referee's whistle has gone. 4,887 inside Dens for, so far, Dundee 0, Ross County 0. And a fifth booking for Ross County. Jordan White this time. So half the team yellow carded.
It's getting to that probably point where Malky's thinking, do I take one or two of them off?
Yeah.
Really, because obviously the game's pretty much in the balance at the moment. You know, and anything really to give Dundee the advantage, he's got to try and avoid. It's a really difficult one for the manager. But
yeah, there's activity, isn't there, in the dugout? There will be a change or two maybe coming up for County. One or two players in a dangerous situation at the moment, having been carded and with plenty of time to go. BBC Radio Scotland at the Scott Foam Stadium. I'm struggling to get a tune to that one, I have to say. Dens Park it is for Dundee 0, Ross County 0. Dundee still with the team which started, but we are going to see a change for Malky Mackay and co. Leak plays the ball forward, cleared by Portales up towards halfway. Conor Randall winning the header, flicked on, turned round the corner by Danda, looking for White. Intercepting was Shaughnessy. Dundee work it forward to Bakayoko. Out on the left-hand side, he cuts in, tries to link with Rudden. His layoff intended for McCowan, but Laturi was there for County. Having a decent spell of possession, Dundee at the moment. Robertson involved, getting the ball from Rudden. Forward goes Portales, and he slips it down the side for Robertson, who couldn't find that glimmer of light to get the ball into the box from the right-hand side. It was a good block by Paddington, and it's gone out for a throw. Shaughnessy thinking about the long throw. It's going to be Josh Sims coming off the bench for Ross County shortly, not quite yet. Shaughnessy with the long throw, headed towards the edge of the box. McCowan knocks it down, flicked into the danger zone, but Lamy couldn't get there for Dundee, and through it goes to Laidlaw, all in red for Ross County, who booms it downfield looking for Murray. Doesn't get that far. Dundee get it away, but County work it down the left-hand side for Danda. His pass infield to Randall. Randall looks to switch it across to James Brown. Good control from the right wing back. Flicks it inside towards Jordan White. Back it goes for Randall. He clips it out left-hand side for Jan Danda. Back onto the right foot. Danda miscue as he tried to whip that one in from the left-hand side. He didn't get the delivery he was after, and Dundee happy about that. They get it forward towards Bakayoko, but it was Ross County in charge, and back it went for Laidlaw to clear. Puddington launches it up towards Murray, making a nuisance of himself, gets the ball down, rolls it wide left for Danda. Again looking to create. Canty's number 10, a bouncing ball into the box. Not a good enough delivery this time either, and Shaughnessy clears up towards Rudden.
Danda's been in a great position twice there in the last minute or so. Both occasions his delivery's been terrible. You know,
he's got to miss the first man, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's a quality player in a great area. Just hang up.
And you expect so much better from him, don't you?
Definitely. Jordan White's in there. Jordan White's 6'4". You know, great attacking the ball, coming in the box. Not one kind of bit of quality in there to allow him to go and attack.
Brian Canty making the first change of the match.
Yes, Simon Murray is off. Josh Sims, one of the players who scored a vital penalty that helped keep County in the Premiership for this season. He's the player coming on with half an hour to go.
The ball slipped through for Dundee towards McCowan. Left-hand side, manages to get the cross ball in beyond the back post. Robertson tried to keep it alive, but County get it clear, and on the break Jordan White is striding through. He's one-on-one with Shaughnessy, tries to turn inside, but eventually the dark blue shirts clustering around him. The ball pings back towards Trevor Carson, and somehow the goalkeeper couldn't deal with that. It's clipped off him and gone behind for a corner.
If Ross County score from this, Tony Tuckett will be going absolutely mental. I mean, first of all, I don't know what Portales is trying to do. It was almost like he's trying to head the ground. And then Trevor Carson's surely got to realise that it's not a pass back, it's deflected.
He's actually just about put it in the back of his own net, hasn't he, with his touch?
So corner kick for County on the left-hand side. Danda plays it in from the corner kick. Out came Carson with a Superman dive, which didn't involve getting to the ball, and he's fortunate there that didn't pop up as a big chance for Ross County to score.
He was never getting there, Carson, never. Fortunate that didn't land to a Ross County player.
He's looked really jumpy tonight, hasn't he, Trevor Carson? He's looked maybe he's not benefiting from the lack of football of late, because he's just looked a little bit nervy at times.
Something's hard for the goalkeepers as well. You know, it's quite a specialised position. You know, they like routines, they like to get into that sort of rhythm of games. You know, he's obviously made a couple of great saves as well, but at other times he's looked a little bit indecisive in what he wants to do.
He was certainly never getting to that corner kick, that's for sure, despite the flying dive, and fortunate that his team were able to get rid of that before it ended up in behind him.
Ross County have actually changed their shape. They brought Sims on. They've actually gone to a 3-4-3. I think Danda and Sims are both playing as 10s, with Jordan White further through the middle, so they won't have that outlet of Murray in behind.
Good ball winning from Jordan McGee. Then Bakayoko gives it away, inviting Ross County to get forward. Puddington out on the left-hand side. Danda's alongside him. That's a better ball in from Jan Danda. It's spilled by the goalkeeper, and it is a gift of a goal, but it's not going to count. Up goes the offside flag. James Brown put the ball in the back of the net, and Trevor Carson will breathe one massive sigh of relief.
Well, it'll be getting checked, but that looked to me like Colin Stephen put his arm up before the linesman. I mean, they're obviously communicating with each other. So obviously VAR will be checking to see if it is offside or not, but I'd be surprised.
It was tight. I thought it was quite tight.
There's a lot of bodies in there, but I mean, that again just speaks to what you were talking about there, Rob, in terms of Trevor Carson looking a little bit nervy because he fumbles that when he really shouldn't even be close to fumbling anything. Yeah, a goalkeeper of his calibre.
Yeah, it was a better standard, a quality of ball, but I think Jordan White gets right across the front of him and actually probably puts him off, and it bounces just before him, and then obviously again he should deal with it better. Tap in the back post. I actually thought I think it was Brown back post. I thought he was offside. I'm not sure about the initial one.
Yeah, VAR are having a look at the moment. The ball ending up in the back of the net. Is it going to count though, or will it be ruled out for offside? Well, Trevor Carson will be extremely interested in the outcome, to say the least. Having fumbled the cross ball, and it was the cross ball from Danda that we've been waiting for, because a couple of poor deliveries from this left-hand side. Finally, he got one into that area of uncertainty behind the defence and in front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, definitely. I think the system probably maybe suit him. He'll be playing off. Basically, I think it's Portales. He'll just be dropping into those spaces. What does Portales do? Does he come with him? If he does, then there's spacing behind. If he doesn't, he'll get the space to turn, and hopefully create obviously chances like that for Ross County.
The best part of 5,000 inside Dens tonight. Most of them, almost all of them, hoping that the offside ruling is going to stand.
I always wonder why they take so long. It's really close. I think that's the big thing. It's taken a wee while. Oh, TV.
Well, he's going to have a look at the monitor, Colin Stephen, and offside having been given. Well, so often the decision is turned around, and is this goal going to stand?
It obviously must be for something different, no? Because offside would be clear cut.
Well, I'm presuming he's obviously wondering if Jordan White has interfered with play in regards to his involvement in it. I'm at a bit of a loss here now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be purely whether...
Brian, are you able to look over Colin Stephen's shoulder?
Sadly not, Rob, but my understanding is that they may be looking at some sort of interference in the goalkeeper here, because obviously Trevor Carson did come. There was a player, whether he was just in front of the Trevor Carson or not, whether he was interfering with play. We've had this on a couple of occasions this season as well. I can see Colin Stephen's lips moving. He's obviously in communication with.
Can you read those lips?
Unfortunately, no. The VAR official tonight, I think,
it's Andrew Dallas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Andrew Dallas, who is one of the more experienced VAR referees.
Colin Stephen will make the sign of the screen
offside
and confirm that it is offside. So
we got there in the end.
Yeah,
we got the right decision in the end.
They're not going to get done for speeding, are they? Another painstaking decision by VAR on its first birthday.
You say it's the right decision. You've not seen a replay.
Meantime, here's Bakayoko with a chance, and a great save by Ross Laidlaw to stop that squeezing in at the near post.
I'm saying oh no, but I'm just meaning in terms of what a swing that would be. I mean, Ross County would be going mental if Bakayoko found the back of the net. But good move from Dundee. Bakayoko all left-footed though.
Here's the corner kick in from Finlay Robertson, and an important defensive header for Canty to flick that clear. Back in it comes, and Baldwin is there again, and that's going to end with a free kick for the Dingwall team, with one of their players down on the penalty spot.
Is it a head knock? Because again, frustrating one is the Ross County players just cleared it, so the ball will go back to Ross County when they're Dundee in a really good attacking position. The game's just come to life a little bit.
Yeah, it has. Immediately after that long VAR delay, Ross County switched off a little bit, and Dundee switched on, and Bakayoko had the chance to break the deadlock. Maybe if he had a right foot, he would have struck that across Laidlaw rather than tried to prod it in at the near post. Certainly the goalkeeper made a good save. It's his first real save of the match, Laidlaw. After Carson denied Canty a couple of times first half. Simon Murray's off now. He had the most clear-cut chance, but that was a big opportunity for Bakayoko as well, on the back of that big VAR decision after Brown put the ball in the net. So it stays at Dundee 0, Ross County 0, and the stakes are high tonight for these two teams, even this early in the season, because 3 points at this stage can make a massive difference and take a lot of early season pressure off. Leak with the header away for Canty. McCowan couldn't keep it in the centre circle. Josh Sims getting himself involved. He's a player I like every time I see him featuring for Ross County. Tends to make a contribution either from the start or off the bench.
I'm hoping the game will open up a little bit more. I think obviously slightly different formations now, so there's going to be space on the pitch if they don't do the defensive duties right. I think McCowan and Robertson will get opportunities.
Yeah, and Bakayoko is beginning to have an impact in the game as well. He's won a really good header across on the far side, but Canty have a player down. Must be a head knock, according to Colin Stephen, the ref. Dundee fans around us don't have that version of events, but the game is stopped as Bakayoko was bursting forward down the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's probably two sort of incidents we've had where obviously Dundee will be a little bit frustrated with the head knock rule. It is there to protect players, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, because we don't want any serious injuries. But again, it's probably used to Ross County's advantage there.
Does look as if Tony Docks had a word with Bakayoko at half-time. Get yourself more involved.
Yeah, definitely. He's really quiet. I think when the game opens up, I think he'll be more of a threat. I think when the game's tight, you know, he looks like he's one of those strikers who likes to run in behind. He likes to use his physical sort of abilities. And he has definitely improved second half.
So the game will be restarted with a drop ball. That's pure speculation because we can't really see anything through the pillar. But we're back underway, and in comes a cross ball from Ricky Lamy, and scramble to win it. Purrington involved for County, and doing enough against Jordan McGee to ensure he didn't get his head to it.
But really interesting to see what Boateng does. He's a young player. You know, he's got Danda and Sims either side of him. You know, who picks him up? Does he allow the centre halves to do it? Again, Michael, he'll probably be standing free a lot of the time, and he'll be thinking, what do I do? How do I help my teammates? And really important in Ross County, if they want to win the game, they've got to get Sims and Danda on the ball.
The ball is in the hands, uncertain hands at times, of Trevor Carson. It's been a mixed bag from him. A couple of good saves and some really twitchy moments from a very experienced goalkeeper as well. On halfway, Portales turns the ball inside. Almost an opportunity for McCowan to get in beyond the strikers. And he's making a move again out to the left-hand side to pick up the ball. His cross in the middle. And down goes Rodden. 6 yards out with a half-hearted look towards the referee. But it was strong defending from County as they play the ball up towards White on the halfway line, takes it in and rolls it out to Dylan Smith.
Good striker play there. Really like to see that. A good link playing out the other side.
Forward it goes to Sims, working it around County. Laturi, and back with Baldwin, crossing halfway, seeing the opportunity to drive with the ball into the feet of White. Doesn't stick this time for the main striker.
It's a really hard ball for him to deal with. He's ran at pace. He's had the ball about 6 yards away, straight pass, straight into his feet. You know, he's just got an easy pass there to Sims.
Rudden for Dundee out on the left-hand side, running up a blind alley. There was Zach Rudden, and lost the ball, and then committed a foul as he tried to get it back, and his misery is complete with the yellow card flashed in his face.
Looks as though he's getting a little bit frustrated. You know, a few wee decisions, a few wee things are going against him. Really important he keeps his composure. And again, bookings are really poor bookings. That
it does have the look of a game that will be settled by one goal. Simon Murray could have had it first half. Bakayoko could have had it second half.
I think 3-3 was going a bit too much, wasn't it? We're hoping for a bit too much.
Still goalless at Dens on BBC Radio Scotland. The ball is cleared at the edge of the area by Joe Shaughnessy. It's an up and under, and it's headed away by Baldwin. Rudden complaining as the ball finds its way to Jan Danda, shimmying his way down the left-hand side. Showed too much of it to Portales. Now it's Purrington and Sims into the box from Josh Sims. Played it in defeat, but it just slipped away and behind for the goal kick.
Don't mind that, something different. You know, I think he's trying to play, he's trying to bounce at the feet in the penalty box. Something a little bit different. You know, the Sims has looked lively since he's come on. Again, it's just that final ball, that final quality into the box.
Are these two going to stay where they were, second and third bottom of the Premiership, or can one of them find a way to get the win they so badly want? Neat flick from Zach Rudden, but Doesn't find anyone else in dark blue, and County are able to get it clear.
I'm not sure Tony Docherty will keep us cool if he keeps flicking like that. I think, you know, for me there, he's got to just get hold of it, get a half turn. He had loads of space. He looks like at times today he's been trying the hard bit of skill rather than the easy bit.
Brian Malky-Mackay's freshening things again.
Yeah, he's going to make a couple of changes here. Number 16, George Harmon, is going to be coming on. He's going to be replacing Ben Purrington. Another player to come on is Alex Samuel, maybe add a little bit of bite up front. And I think it's number 10, Jan Danda, who's coming off.
I think it's Eamon Brophy, isn't it? Eamon Brophy coming on. Number 27.
It is,
Brian.
sorry. Yeah. My apologies, Rob. Yeah,
No.
27, Eamon Brophy.
Yep. Can he find the spark for Ross County in the attacking areas? Off comes Danda.
Just wondering if Callum Davidson was blocking Brian's view on that one.
Very good.
I think Brophy's a player. If Ross County can get him firing, he will score goals. He's got that quality.
Just the one so far this season.
He's got that early strike on him. He doesn't have a lot of backlift when he shoots. You know, so he does get half a yard. You know, he might be the difference for Ross County. Even today, maybe up in a couple of weeks.
Down the line from McCowan, left hand side for Dundee. Cutting in is Beck, inside and then outside, heading for the byline, and in the end the ball is battered off the on loan Liverpool wing back and behind for the goal kick, and he jumps up and down, angry with himself that he couldn't create, having got into a really good area. He does look a talent though, doesn't he, Beck, for Dundee? Looks like a good acquisition.
Yeah, definitely, especially attacking fullback. I think all these young fullbacks down in England are all sort of taught to play that attacking style rather than defensive style. It really suits the sort of the wing back role.
Josh Sims looking to make something happen, and the shot from Brophy flashes just wide of goal. Well, that might be his first touch off the bench, and intimating that he fancies turning 1 point into 3 for the Dingwall team. Meantime, changes coming for the home team, Brian.
Yeah, I'll try and get these ones right, Rob. Number 21, Ryan Howley, and number 11, Diego Pineda coming on. They'll be replacing number 20, Zach Rudden, and number 6, Jordan McGee.
So that double switch for Tony Docherty. First changes of the match for his team. 3 changes made in this second half by County. And we're inside the final 15 minutes at Dens Park. Dundee 0, Ross County 0. As Brown clears the ball up towards halfway, and Lamy was there for Dundee. Now Beck curls the ball down the line. McCowan is after it. It's not a stage of the game where you want to be making a mistake defensively, that's for sure. Still tight between these two. Can someone make the difference in the closing stages? Brown clearing again for Ross County down the right hand side, collected by the Dundee captain Shaughnessy, and gives it to Beck. Back it goes again to Lamy, and then Shaughnessy, and right across the back line to Portales, right hand side. Well, he gave it away there, did Antonio Portales. Breakdown in communication with Howley, who's just off the bench.
Yeah, it's a hard one for him because he's got the ball. Joe Shaughnessy played the ball out to him. He's looking for somebody, and they're all running away from him. You know, I think somebody needs to go long to come short. I know it's an old saying, but I think it's really important he gets the opportunity to bounce pass, and can they then get out the other side?
Less than 12 minutes to go at Dens Park. Dundee 0, Ross County 0. BBC Radio Scotland. The ball bouncing awkwardly for Boateng, misses it in the midfield, and it's collected by Jordan White, and he rolls it back towards Smith to fire it forward. Doesn't stick for County, and curled down the line by Boateng. And Dundee with an opportunity, and it's fired in from the left-hand side, and Laidlaw makes the save.
Again, straight pass, isn't it, Michael? It's a straight pass. The young lad stepped in. He can just go straight to wing back, and all of a sudden, then they've got loads of opportunities. He stepped in and tried to play another straight pass, intercepted, pushed Dundee on the counter attack.
It was a great ball down the line from Luke McCowan, just clipped over the defender for Pineda. Stepped in from the inside left. It was a good strike, made the goalkeeper work, but not able to capitalise on the loose ball. It just feels like this game is, I think I'd said a score draw. Well, it certainly looks like it's going to be a 0-0 at the moment, unless somebody's going to come up with a moment of magic, or there's a mistake in this game. It doesn't feel like there's going to be too many goals in this game as we approach the latter stages now.
So decent bit of play from Diego Pineda, cutting in off the left-hand side. Didn't really get enough behind the shot, low in towards the near post, and Laidlaw able to make the save. Canty in possession. Ryan Leake plays it forward, looking for Jordan White. He chests it down for Eamon Brophy, trying to bustle his way through. Portales made the challenge, and the ball is out on the right side for James Brown to swing in the cross. Conor Randall attacking it, and the game is opening up late on. Dundee looking to break down the pitch. Finlay Robertson, he was hauled back by Brophy, who's yellow carded.
Yeah, it was a strange one. Ross County just left their midfield wide open there. They obviously try to go for the win, but I don't think Malky would be too pleased. I think it was both centre midfielders actually end up probably about 12 yards out. They got cleared, and again Brophy's had to pull them back. That's probably 2 or 3 this game that's happened.
9 minutes to go, goalless between Dundee and Ross County. I think County are going to make another change shortly as Dundee launch a long ball forward. Neither manager would complain how this game is won if it can be won.
These are big moments in the season. You know, the game's kind of petering out to 0-0. Can you have somebody that makes the difference? Can you get those really valuable 3 points? They'll make a huge difference in the season.
It can just take pressure off even at this early stage as the ball is funneled through towards Diego Pineda, left side of the box, and he screws his shot across goal, and it's gone behind. And I think, was there an offside there given? Belatedly, not sure. I think it is a goal kick in the end, as Pineda found a whole lot of room in behind the Ross County defence.
Well, if he's kept himself on side there, it was a really good run. And another ball from Luke McCowan. He's been the standout player on the park for me, the one that's looked most likely to create anything.
Brian, are you going to go for your Alex Samuel substitution here?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Alex Samuel one. He's coming on, he's replacing Jordan White. Another one happening as well. It looks like number 14, Victor Laturi. His night is over, and he's going to be replaced by number 6, Scott Allardyce.
Yeah, former Inverness Cali Thistle player coming off the bench.
Impeccable, Brian, impeccable.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks, Michael, yeah.
It's always good to get the nod of approval from up here. So 5 changes made now by Ross County as they look to shake things up late on and possibly find a way. And Samuel is immediately chasing the ball into the box, and Shaughnessy clearing for Dundee. Both teams would love to win it, they don't want to lose it. Josh Sims looking to make something happen. He claimed he was having his shirt pulled 25 yards out. He looked to have a fatal case as well.
I think that was a free kick, especially when you see the pass overhit, drifting out for a by kick. I think Colin Stevens should have been blowing his whistle there and given Ross County the free kick.
Play goes on, and Dundee work it up to Bakayoko. Beck firing another ball inside. It was Bakayoko the target again. The layoff didn't come off, and a free kick is given against Malachy Boateng on the halfway line. Time running out in terms of finding a winning goal here, as the ball is played down the left side for Ross County. Samuel doing the chasing.
This is probably when you see what team wants to win it. You know, what percentage football do they play now? You know, coming to the dying minutes. Is it balls down the side and behind? Just keep the opposition team in their own half, you know, and try and apply a little bit of pressure.
How much are you willing to gamble at this late stage? The throw in from Baldwin to Sims. Didn't really catch the ball as he tried to get it into the box from the left-hand side. Boateng doing some important defending for Dundee. He fires it forward and it's flicked on by McCowan.
I think the fans are getting a wee bit agitated and nervous as well.
Yeah, it is at that stage of the proceedings. Samuel getting himself involved. He's all action off the bench. Ross County's number 25. And the ball goes out for a throw-in for Dundee. In the shadow of the main stand, Portales flings it down the line. Howley couldn't get there. Still in until it goes out off the head of Robertson. George Harmon with the throw for County. Plays it back the way to Ryan Leake. In the middle is Sims. Allardyce plays it out wide for Brown. Lovely ball in behind from James Brown. What can County do from here? Answer, not very much. The cross is blocked.
A great movement by Brophy. You know, he's come short and he's just spun in behind. Good ball. If he could have probably got a little bit earlier with the cross and asked more questions, but again, it's probably the best sort of little passage of play Ross County have had for a while. Worked it out one side from a throw-in, out to the opposite wing back. You know, and a little slide pass down the side.
Just about 4 minutes to go of regulation time. Is this going to end a point apiece? Good work from McCowan. Working the 1-2. Firing it forward. Has it again. Luke McCowan. Rolls it out wide. In from Howley. And good, solid defending from Ross County. It wasn't the best ball in you've ever seen. And it's back in the gloves of Roy Laidlaw. I
think he's got to take a touch there. The ball's played wide to him. Just take a touch. You know, open his body out and then whip the ball in. He's just trying to play first time with a kind of straight foot. It was a strange type of cross.
Yeah. Strange is one description. Not very effective is another. Lamy on the ball. Plays it forward. Poor from Ricky Lamy. Had loads of time there and didn't find Bakayoko. County in response. Work it down the left-hand side towards Alex Samuel. Portales forces the ball out of play. A late change is on the way for Dundee, just not quite yet. This could be a long throw for Dundee to defend.
It's a good guess as everybody floods into the box.
I'd love if he goes short here.
Every chance. It's Jack Baldwin winding up for the long throw. Flicked on by Jordan White and collected by goalkeeper Carson. Forward goes Beck, and he just lost his footing as Dundee fans hoped for a free kick. Now it's Pineda, left side of the box. Good hit from him and a good save by the legs of Laidlaw, keeping him out at the near post. It could so easily have squeezed in from the Mexican.
Surprised that's not a free kick. Ball went up to Brophy there and it just looked as if Lamy went through the back of him. They both fell over, but Pineda's looked quite lively since he's come on. He's got into some good areas and he's hit the target, I think, every time he's had a shot at goal.
And he's linking up here with Bakayoko just outside the Ross County penalty area.
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. I think Pineda's been the player coming on off the bench who's had the greatest impact. And he's drifted down that inside left channel. You know, he's got a couple of shots, difficult shots on target, and that's the question of Laidlaw.
Yeah, he looks technically pretty decent, doesn't he? And he's managed to find his way into some dangerous areas, and he certainly that effort on goal, the latest one, was pretty decent. It was a good save by Laidlaw. Late change for the home team, Brian.
Yeah, the applause you can hear is for Dundee's midfielder Finn Robertson. Coming on, number 18, Charlie Riley. He joined the club in the summer from Albion Rovers. I know there was a lot of interest in Charlie Riley in the summer, but he's come here. There's been a lot of interest in him. He was a real talent in Albion Rovers last season.
Almost inside the last minute of the match in terms of the 90.
Goal scoring midfielder, I think, isn't he? You know, I think I watched him a few times last year. You know, very good young player. I think he just obviously hasn't really kind of sort of got off the ground yet, but I think he's one definitely for the future.
Good ball winning from Josh Sims for Ross County. Dundee trying pretty hard to win it back in the middle, and what they have won is a throw-in on the far side. Left-hand side, midway inside Ross County territory. 30 seconds left of the 90. Is this going to end goalless? Back it goes, almost from the halfway line. Shaughnessy to Carson, and lumped upfield by the goalkeeper. Looks as if there are going to be 7 minutes to be added on. Down goes Sims. He was unlucky last time in not getting the free kick. He thought he was due, but he does get the nod, I think, this time. Or is it going to be a throw-in for County? I think it's going to be a throw-in rather than a free kick. 90 minutes have come and gone, and it will be a minimum of 7 to be added. They haven't managed a goal in 90. Can they come up with one in the 7 minutes extra?
That'll be due to the VAR, the 22 minutes it took to get VAR, to decide if it was a goal or not.
Back from Ryan Leake to Ross Laidlaw, slipping, but he gets the clearance away. Headed forward by Portales. Back from Harman to Leake. Composed on the ball as he then rolls it. And well, he was composed when he took in the pass. Not so impressive, Callum. But he kicked it with the ball into the corner. Yeah,
he showed great composure as he did it.
Great excitement on the PA as Luke McCowan gets the sponsors man of the match.
Yeah, been Dundee's best player. Obviously on the pitch as well. He looks like that little bit of quality. It's actually unusual seeing him in that role. He's normally played obviously wider, as a wide player, but again it just shows his adaptability, able to play the midfield three.
Yeah, and I think if you were playing a back four, he could play wide, or he could play through the middle as a 10 as well. I think he's just a good football player that could play pretty much anywhere, middle to front.
Yep.
He's certainly, but I harp on about this all the time in terms of the big clubs in this country that just ignore the domestic market. Luke McCowan's somebody that I look at and I think to myself, there's no reason why some of the bigger clubs in this, and that's, I'm not being disparaging to Dundee, but some of the bigger clubs in this country, looking at boys like that, I don't know how and why they're not getting picked up.
The ball booted forward by Shaughnessy in behind the County defence, but able to come out to the furthest extent of his box to collect was Ross Laidlaw. We've added more than 2 minutes of stoppage time as the County keeper fires the ball downfield. Comes off the head of Boateng, spinning towards Samuel, but good header won by Ricky Lamy, and then a free kick goes against Ross County.
Yeah, just right. I think it's it's Scott Allardyce right through the back of Luke McCowan, and it was a free kick all day long.
Just getting a little bit scrappy, isn't it?
Yeah,
last probably 5-10 minutes, a little bit scrappy, a little bit nervy. Not a lot of quality in it. I think both teams obviously desperate for points.
Trevor Carson with the free kick, firing it forward. Pineda flicked it on towards Bakayoko, and Howley out on the right hand side manages to squeeze in a cross ball, but it was always too close to the keeper to be any sort of danger to Laidlaw or County.
A lot of players have been actually slipping tonight. Have you noticed a lot of them have lost their foot when they're trying to strike the ball? It must be a little bit greasy on top. Hopefully none are wearing mouldy studs, because they've been rollicking off the gaffers.
So we've added half of the 7 added minutes, and the scoreline as it was: Dundee 0, Ross County 0. Well, every point is priceless when you're in the lower reaches of the league, but it certainly was a big opportunity tonight for one of these two to grab all 3 and really make progress. But it does look, and it's looked for a long time, as if it's not going to be
I thought it was a good rugby kick there into the 22, a bit of territory.
You've been watching too much of that World Cup. Down goes Boateng on halfway, no free kick. Canty have it with Harman. Down the line it goes. And curling it down the line to ensure it stayed in.
I think Portalis has played quite well as well. I think he's trying to step in, he's trying to play. He's made a couple of wee mistakes, or one big mistake, but I think he's actually one player I've been quite impressed with. He's trying to step in and he's trying to play football and create chances with his passing.
Nearly 5 minutes added right at the end of this match. It's a throw in here for Baldwin, close to the Dens tunnel. In it comes, aimed at the near post, headed away, straight back to Canty's number 5 on his left foot. His cross ball, Samuel reaching for the header. Good defensive play from Bakayoko, who was back there helping out. Allardyce for Canty. I don't know if he failed to see the Dundee player because he played it right to him, Scott Allardyce. Forward goes Riley for Dundee, and Pineda on the overlap fires it into the 6-yard box. Canty scramble it clear.
I'd love to have a heart rate monitor, Malcolm McKay, just there.
And Scott Allardyce. I don't know what, the pass is there, but you've got to clip it, you've got to get a wee bit of height on it just to dink it over the player. I don't know whether that was what he was trying to do or what, and just didn't.
It was as if he didn't see him.
Didn't play it right, but he's just passed it on the deck straight to the Dundee player.
Shaughnessy with the long throw for Dundee, headed away, but Shaughnessy can collect it on the byline. Can he find the delivery? Answer no. He crosses it straight into the welcoming gloves of Laidlaw.
Probably the story of the game, that, isn't it? You know, that area into those areas and really put poor balls into the box. Goalkeeper, especially Laidlaw on this side, he's come and collected a lot really easily.
Laidlaw launches it, and we're into the 7th minute of added time. Not too much longer to play here. Can Dundee find a late winner? Shot from the edge of the box, fumbled by the goalkeeper, saved by Laidlaw, didn't hold it. It was almost an opportunity. And Ross County managed to scramble that away and get the ball up to halfway.
Great chance there. I think it was O'Reilly on the left-hand side. He's cut in. He's whipped it with his right foot. Good save by Laidlaw. But again, that little bit of composure he's shown the young man. Be great to see more of him.
That's full time at Dens, and it's a point of peace for Dundee and Ross County. Big opportunity gone to make a significant move up the league table. But both go from 7 points to 8 at the end of this rearranged game. And right at the end, that chance for substitute Charlie Riley to become a big hero at Dens. Had he been able to stick away that chance, it was an opportunity. And his body language right at this moment tells you that is a big missed chance for the substitute late on. Dundee certainly had more moments in the second half in which they thought they could win this one. Pineda with a couple of decent efforts which produced saves from Laidlaw. There was a chance for Bakayoko, who might have taken it with his right foot on the right side of the box rather than the left. His stabbed effort again was saved by the County goalkeeper. County with not so much to speak of attack-wise in the second half. They did have the ball in the net at one stage, but the offside which was given originally stood after the VAR examination. They certainly had chances first half. There was a header from a Danda corner which produced a good save from Trevor Carson, and there was a golden chance early on in the game for Simon Murray, who really should have been scoring rather than allowing Carson to make a good save with his right boot. And at the end of all that, in front of a crowd of just shy of 5,000 at Dens Park, it finishes here. Dundee 0, Ross County 0.